Very fine. Thank you very much. The questions we're going to answer today are as follows. As we read over the web, it seems that Deconstruction will be your most larger-than-life metal record. Can we consider Deconstruction as your swan song to the world of extreme metal? No. In fact, it isn't my swan song. It's more of an opportunity for me to say, I'm in control of my abilities to do this, and I'm not frightened of it. So in the future, if I feel the need to do extreme metal in a certain part, I'll absolutely do it. However, it also proves to me in a lot of senses that if I don't want to do extreme metal from now on, then I won't. And I think it's good for me to make a record like this as almost a sense of closure, because Strapping a Lad had so much emotional commitment by the fans and myself that it's nice to be able to say, well look, it didn't go anywhere. I just chose not to do it because I was thinking about other things. Deconstruction is similar to Strapping a Lad in some ways, but it's not the same energy. And to be perfectly honest, at this age, this is the only way I can do it. So I think for those of you who miss Strapping a Lad, you should check out Deconstruction. However, the point of it is maybe a little different than it appears on the surface. Second question. Can you imagine one day that Ziltoid will get his revenge? A second album of Ziltoid? Let me think about this. Will he get his revenge? I think that by doing Deconstruction, Ziltoid and I came to a very honorable truce. And what that means is that musically, he doesn't have much more to say in a lot of ways. He got his theme song. That's all he really wanted. So the truce that we've come up with right now is he's going to get his own TV show. And he's going to be the master of ceremonies at my shows. So I think that Ziltoid will continue to write music, but it will be within the confines of his TV show, ZTV. And I think in the future, if we choose to do a second Ziltoid record, it will be once him and I have managed to get together into a room together and start jamming as opposed to arm wrestling, you know? And at this point, that's entirely in his court. Third question. It's a fact that you've always made many projects. You've always had many projects forward. So, can you tell us what's your next project after it goes to Deconstruction? No. Okay, next question. Actually, no, not. Okay, yeah, it's just me being a dick. In the past, every time I make a record, I try and predict what it's going to be like, and it's never like what I tell people it's going to be like. I'm like, okay, this next one's going to be a pop record. This one's going to be a heavy record. This one's going to be one about a coffee-drinking alien. And the only thing that ever gets close to that is those themes, but I always tend to continue and say, and it's going to have songs called this, and it's going to be about this. And almost in every occasion, that has gone sideways. So from here on out, I'm trying to make a pact with myself and with the people that I do interviews with. I'm just saying, I'm going to keep making music till the day I die, but what it's going to be, I'm just going to leave it up to fate to decide. So, if Ziltoid decides to make a record, we'll figure that out. Who knows, maybe the next record I do will be a pop record. Just before the release of Key, the first album of your tetralogy. I didn't know that's what we made. Wicked though. We made a tetralogy. Right. It was mentioned that these 4 albums will all be re-released on a special edition box set. Is this still true? Yes, this is true. To what extent that box set is going to exist, I'm not sure yet. But I think what's going to happen is going to be the 4 records with special super duper artwork. It's going to have the bonus tracks, in which there's a lot for each record. I am considering including Pro Tools sessions of certain songs from Deconstruction to show how it was done. I did a ton of really stupid YouTube videos that we might include on there. I've got video projects that I've done the whole time. I've got like photos and writings that I've done about the project that could be included, and maybe a chunk of dreadlock. That way we could do 12 box sets. All right, next one. Just before the release of Key, I answered this question. All right. Next year will be the 15th birthday of Ocean Machine, one of your most acclaimed records. 15 years after, could you tell us what you're feeling right now regarding this one? It was wet. It's the first one that I did besides City. I think the last records that I did completely sober were Ocean Machine and City. And then since then, the recent ones, Key, Addicted, Deconstruction, and Ghost, are also sober. So my thought of 15 years anniversary is like, I can't believe I smoked weed for 15 years. Oh wait, no, it'll only be 10. All right, so I like that record, it's cool. I haven't listened to it in probably 12 years. All right. Oh wait, no, that's not the case. I relentlessly listen to my own music. I don't listen to anybody else's stuff, man. Just me. I never listen to this shit. Once it's done, it's done. All right. It is said that, after Dio's death, you had in mind to launch a project to celebrate him. Is it right? No. Never happened. Never said that. Ever. I like Dio though. He was very cool. He was short. I like short people. Are you planning a European tour? In that case, with which musicians? I finished the European tour 1 week ago. I've been here for a month. We played everywhere in Europe, except for Paris, because the Elise burned down. We had a show planned, and it burnt down on the Tuesday, and we were booked in for the Friday, so we missed out. But the rest of the tour is really good. It was actually the most successful tour I've done. And we, what else did we do on this tour? The rest of the guys partied a lot, and I didn't party at all. I'm boring now, man. All right. Which musicians did I tour with? Same guys who were in the last round of it. You know, they played in Addicted. Ryan, Brian, and a guitar player named Dave. Annika did a bunch of shows with us. It's awesome. He's still in touch with the guys at SYL. Of course, I talked to Gene yesterday morning. I talked to Byron the day before. I talked to Jed the week before that. I love those guys. They're my friends for life. Unfortunate for them. All right. What is your favorite album? Of all times?
That's
The first Weird Al Yankovic album. All right. It's got a song on it called Gotta Boogie, and he's talking about like boogie. As a kid, it's like awesome. All right. Father? Has it changed something in your music? Yeah, you know what has changed? I don't consider myself nearly as interesting as I used to in the past. I think if music is ladled with a sense of self-importance, what ends up happening is, as a novelty, I think the music is interesting, but in terms of like truly emotionally connecting to some other person, if you're so obsessed with yourself, then ultimately the listening experience is based on listening to somebody talk about themselves. That's what we're doing right now, right? So it changed that sort of sense of self-importance that I had about myself. And what else? It makes it easier to create because I don't drink anymore either. So I got like 8 hours extra a day that I used to fill with weed and booze. So what am I going to do now? Write more music. So I've written 4 records in the past 2 years. I need to go to bed. All right. I have read somewhere that you would like to compose some orchestral music. I just did that. On Deconstruction, I went to Prague and I used the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra. And I made them play music about masturbating and cheeseburgers. And I had a good sense of humor. There's a couple of them didn't like it. The choir, like we had this lady that was like 45 years old or something, and there's this one part of the song Pandemic where I had to get the sopranos to say, I farted, because the idea of pandemic is it's a disease spread by flatulence, right? And so I had to go in and say, excuse me ladies, I'm terribly sorry, but when you say farted, if you wouldn't mind using a little more F on that, because we really have time to stick out of the mix. And there was one lady that didn't like singing for it, but she said it. All right, so yeah, and in terms of real orchestral music, since I've done that, you get a lot of people that are like, you know, they come in with like a book of Nietzsche under their arm and they're wearing a beret and they're like, yes, well, you think you're a composer, do you? I don't think I'm a composer. I think I'm a jackass. But I'm not afraid to fail. So, I've already recorded. Do you know any French metal groups? Of course! Gojira, ladies and gentlemen, love Joe. Joe, hi buddy. Love Joe. He's awesome. In the past, I remember Triple Compel. They Scarf, they're from France too, aren't they?
Yes. Yes.
I don't pay too much attention to much metal nowadays, in all honesty, because it's just that the age of 39 or wherever the hell I'm at right now, my days, silence is the hottest commodity in my life right now. When there's either not people talking to me or, you know, just the sound of the wind rustling through the trees, I'm good with that. But when it comes to like listening to raging metal, listening to 22-year-olds like screaming about shit that's wrong in the world, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to hear it anymore. So people are like, why aren't you strapping lad, bro? And I'm like, well, I'm 39. I don't have the energy to do that anymore. But Deconstruction, I think is cool because I found an angle on it. Lyrically, I think it's interesting. It's like, okay, let's speak about heavy music. Put it in the light, man. Tell me what about it you're attracted to. What about chaos is intriguing? And I found that for me, the answer I came to, it's fun. And it's liberating. And it's free in terms of like creative outlets. However, it's not the only type of music. And I will only do it now and again. Because right now, at this age, if I was to do Deconstruction every day for the next 2 years, man, I would end up being a carpenter in about 2.5 years. But it was fun for that point. Because we had women singing both parts. All right. What's your point of view about the French scene? The thing I like about French art, music in general, is that I like things that are self-aware. There's a movie I saw the other day called The Triplets of Bellevue. Yeah. And the things about French culture that they exaggerated were incredibly self-aware. And I really like that because it's not a parody as much as just like, hey, we're aware that this doorknob is interesting, so we're going to make it hyper exaggerated. And I think that that ultimately ends up in like good improvisation. And the people who I have jammed with or had good conversations with from France, there's always that sense of like improv that comes with it. And I really enjoy improvising. In fact, I don't think it happens often enough. I gotta get this booger on my nose speaking. So I think the thing that I like about like the artistic sensibilities, and it's not culturally, it's just the people that I've had the fortune of like meeting and like the films that I've seen from France that I find interesting. It's like, it's aware of itself and then it plays on that. And I think that makes interesting characters. And I think it makes interesting music as well. Plus I'm Canadian, right? So Deconinck. Right. All right, next. Is a bad word here too? No?
So,
Pardon?
it's okay.
All right. Would you like to collaborate with someone one day? Yes. Explain. Oh, I'm sorry.
Apart me.
All right. Would I like to collaborate with someone one day? That's what it says. Would you like to collaborate with someone one day? Would I like to collaborate with someone one day? Yes. I would like to collaborate with musicians that don't play what I play. I like dance music. I like pop music. I like house music. I like dubstep. I like things that are like fun. And obviously very cheesy when it gets a camera in front of it. And I also want to play bass. My goal one day is to play bass in a band. Something that sounds like Massive Attack, so I can sort of stand in the back and go. And then no one has to look at me. Because I'm hideous. Now it's time for the Fight Club question. If you had the opportunity to fight against one celebrity, dead or alive, which would you choose and why? Okay, the person I would choose is not truly a celebrity. They're more of just like a low-level musician that's desperately seeking validation. But yes, I would beat the shit out of them, and that would be me. If I could fight one person, it would be me. Wait, I've been doing that for 20 years. In fact, the biggest fight I've ever had against myself was over this 4-record project, Devin Townsend project. And you know the best part about it? I won. What? He won. Either way. One of us won. And we're drinking coffee and...
That was a fucking good answer.
Thank you. Okay, and finally, the last question. Have you some news of Cryptic Coroner? Well, didn't they win a bunch of money and like Grammys and all that? Yeah, dude. You know, I think that if there's a retro scene that comes around where it becomes intriguing to like reinvigorate the past, and maybe someone offers them $1 million to play Cryptic Coroner songs, I truly hope that the other side of their equation, their punk side of the equation, has provided them with enough money that they don't have to. Because I don't really think that in a room together they got much to say to each other anymore. Poor guys. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Devin Townsend, and it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. And if I'm watching myself on the internet right now, I'm going to look below at all the comments. That one guy there, he's a dick. And I don't care. That's my biggest thing, ladies and gentlemen. So hey, you, buddy.